Probably I shouldn't introduce myself, shall I? Okay, I'm Tanya. I'm a UX designer and researcher. I have 4 years experience in the field. I worked for an usability agency in Moscow for 2 years, and for last 2 years I did my PDN degree here at the university, User System Interaction. Hey. So, today I'm going to talk about user trust and distrust in e-commerce. Actually, this research was conducted about 2 years ago in Moscow, and we did it mostly because we don't have in Russia research in this field. Usually, what all papers and books that we have, they are translated, and it's European or American experience and research from there. So we were aimed to see if we can apply it for Russian conditions and how it works. And I will explain a bit more about the research, literature research that I did. But for now, it's not a secret that the e-commerce field is growing, and some experts already discussing an opportunity to take out E from e-commerce. And probably in the future, there will be no like difference or any difference between online and offline purchasing. So, and trust in e-commerce field is one of the factors of making a purchase. That's why this issue becomes more and more important and urgent. First of all, I'll explain you a bit about some theoretical and applied research in science about trust, and then also in e-commerce in particular. And then I show our procedure of the experiment and what results we gathered. So, firstly, about trust and distrust in science. Different social science intensively has been researching on this topic, and this term became an interdisciplinary term. And because of this, it's like research from different sides, but also, on the other hand, it's difficult to create an integral model of trust, because it's just different parts. It's like a metaphor with an elephant, like detaching from different parts, but not really what it is, not really clear. Then another thing that there is no conventional definition of trust, and it's another consequence of this. But recently, the understanding trust and distrust as two poles of one continuum has been shifted to two independent phenomena. And probably it's difficult to understand and imagine right now, but I will explain about this a bit later, and it seems really like true and makes sense to perceive it in this way. And another one important point that before we perceived trust and distrust as a single value estimate for interaction. So trust was perceived as a positive factor for interaction, and distrust as a negative factor for interaction. But recently, we changed, science changed it to multiple value estimate when these factors, so it's not really clear. It depends on condition. Would be trust useful for interaction and distrust not useful for interaction, or in another way around. And in research into trust in e-commerce, we also have some trends. So basically, there are a lot of research in Europe and in the USA, as I said before, but most of them have the same kind of disadvantages. Research attention focused on some separate factors of trust, and so different studies take only one factor or a set of factors, and research investigate around this set of factors and don't take into account another factors. Trust components and determinants can be interchangeable. So in different studies, the same factor can be an dependent and independent variable. So not clear what is the reason, what is the consequence. Trust and distrust still perceived as two poles of one continuum. So this research don't take into account this like new trend, new influence in the science. And mostly all these studies were conducted with students, and that limits an opportunity to generalize the results to the whole population. Right now, if you have any questions about what I said, you can ask. No? Is it clear? Okay, let's move on. So, from the perspective of the current state in science, we decided to take into account, to use top-bottom process and take as a basis for our study a theoretical model developed by Kupreychenko. It's a Russian psychologist. She specialized in economics psychology. So for our e-commerce conditions, it seemed really useful and applicable. And then, according to this theory, trust is a relationship between expected gain and probability of this gain. And distrust is a relationship between possible loss and its probability. And as you can see, these parameters, they define some levels of trust and distrust. So depends on where on the axis our website or any interaction can be, then it defines the level. So to clarify it, let me give a couple of examples. The first one. A piece of cheese in a mouse trap for a really hungry mouse can be really important to save its life, right? So basically, the expected gain is quite high, right? Then, but the mouse has been seeing how the trap works already and knows that it can be dangerous for her. It's really dangerous. And its probability of gain is really low, and then it trust. Yeah, clear? It's about trust. Then, on the other hand, we have possible loss, life, right? And the probability to be killed for the mouse is also quite high. So it's high distrust. And based on the balance between stress trust and high distrust, the mouse will make a decision. Yeah? Another example. This is my mom. She's really a lovely woman, easygoing, and by the way, it's not that. She's taking out seeds of the cherries. So basically, she has some problems with her joints and bones. And attention, please. My ex-potential mother-in-law several years ago brought for her a special medicine from Latvia. Then at some point the boyfriend became ex, and my mother's this medicine is gone. So I had to figure out myself how to find this really rare medicine. And basically, I just took a picture of the jar where it was and tried to Google. And now I need to switch to the laptop to show the website where I found it. Sorry, I was so nervous that I didn't prepare it, but I'll show. I have it. This one. So I Googled it, and it was only one. How can I share it? Track to what? To side. Yes. Now I lost the cursor.
It's on the screen. You're in the.
Yeah, but not everything. I want to show that the.
Try the top left.
Yeah. Here it goes. Right?
Yes.
This one.
Yes, you press the green button, it should work.
Green button? Which green button?
In the top of the left corner again.
This one?
Yes.
Yes. Great. And now how can I interact with the website? No way?
That's it. You just scroll.
Yeah,
I can. Okay, I cannot see it on the screen. Okay, so basically I found it on this website. As you can see, it's Latvian. And it was only this website, no way to find it somewhere else. So it was not so bad because I have Google Chrome and I can just translate it, right? Good. So there is a. I read everything about the product, so not so much really. Then I decided, yeah, it's not expensive. It's somewhere in Latvia. I can probably order it somehow. It's like it's the modern world, no problem. Shipping. Yes, and then it's like a lot of text here, but they don't deliver it to somewhere except Latvia. And yeah, so basically, no way. I could try to contact them, right? But it's in Latvian. What is the probability that they speak English or Russian? So let's stop at this point and let's try to discuss. How can I go back now? Close it, right? Yes. Sorry, I'm just. I'm the biggest user for any software, so I'm a good UXer. So let's try to discuss what is a model can be here. So what is the expected gain? Low?
Very high.
I think
Expensive.
Not like the level, just what is it?
Very
Like-
high.
Very high, why? What is it?
It's about
Medicine.
health of mother.
Yeah, it's my mom's health. It's really high. It's one of the most important things that can be. What is the probability to gain this jar with this medicine?
not very high.
Yeah, I decided that at that point it was really low. So the trust for this website, for this online store was really low, like I perceived it. Then what is possible loss?
6 euros. No.
Plus a delivery probably.
Plus credit card fraud.
Yeah, plus credit card confidentiality issues and stuff like that. So, but I decided, yeah, like probably it's not expensive. At least, like, okay, I'll find a way to pay secure. Then, what is probability of loss?
Low.
Low? Honestly, I perceived it like quite high. So it's harmful distrust. And
But even if your mom used the product before, you still don't trust about.
yeah, I don't trust the website. I'm not sure that it's a factory. It even wasn't a factory. It was like a homemade production. I don't know, like it's a family who produced this medicine based on honey and something else. So I wasn't sure if it's their website or it's just like a distributor kind of or what. And you saw the website. It was not really kind of clear. So. Any questions about the model? Good.
What's the name again of the guy?
Actually, it's a woman, and her name Kupreychenko. Yeah, I have some handouts. So can you distribute it, please? And then there is a name there, and probably some questions you can base on these handouts. So basically, we took this theory as a basis for our research, and then we defined like operationalized trust and distrust by so trust was a readiness to make a purchase. Based on the estimate of a proportion between expected purchase size and its probability. And distrust is like readiness to reject the purchase based on the estimation of proportion of possible loss size and its probability. So basically, the final decision about the purchase made based on the balance between trust and distrust. So we had 3 steps for preparation. We defined some trust and distrust factors. We did it based on some European and American research that we found, and we took all like set of factors that we could find there, and asked experts in a user experience agency to like evaluate them if we can apply them for Russian conditions. And then we developed and validated a questionnaire for defining the level of trust and distrust. It was also based on these factors that we obtained from the previous stage. And we developed 2 prototypes of e-commerce sites to test it with participants. Now, factors. We had some trust and distrust factors that affect trust and distrust. And we combined some objective factors like website, online store characteristics, and subjective factors as like some personal expectations, characteristics. So among factors, we had something like amount and quality of information about the product, search possibilities, types of delivery and payment, we varied these factors in the prototypes. And probably I should say that the prototypes were really ugly, and they didn't have any brand affiliation. So it's in Russian, but you can get some impression about them. So we had some search possibilities, we had contact data, we had different tabs with payment, delivery, and about, with different amount and quality of information there. And we recruited 30 participants for this study. We asked them to make a decision to buy a cell phone and make a decision if they would buy it on that website. And we also asked them explain why. So we gathered quantitative and qualitative information. And it was it, probably? Yeah, each of them interact with each website prototype, and they switched randomly. So we gathered some raw data, and these are our findings. So basically, we found that trust is positively correlated with expected purchase size. Distrust is positively correlated with possible loss size. And an interesting point that the final decision about the purchase mostly depends on the distrust level. That so basically it means that the higher the level of distrust, the less possibility that the user, the customer, will buy the product. And it also proves the statement that we always regret more about things that we had and lost than that we could have had lost, right? So another interesting point was that if the user has the high level of trust, then they pay attention to product characteristics. So they think about like how good the phone, what kind of functions that it has, and so on and so on. And if they have a high distrust level, then they pay attention to website characteristics. So basically, to increase conversation rates on the, of online store, we should pay attention to distrust, and we should destroy distrust, and then we will have higher conversion. Then pay attention, like, so usually we a lot of websites, online stores, do another way around. They try to increase trust, the user trust, and they don't pay attention to distrust at all. So what could be the recommendations for the owners of online stores? On the website should be clear the purchasing process. The navigation should be clear, simple, transparent for the customer. Mostly there shouldn't be any usability problems. And we should have good description how we can, what kind of process will be after the customer pay for the purchase, and what will be the next steps, and all critical situations such as what if the customer didn't get the product? What if it has any problems with the product? How can she exchange it or get money back, and so on and so on. So that was it. Do you have any questions?
My question was more the trust and distrust. For the trust and distrust, it seems like you combining the website, so the way of searching, and the product itself. There's no distinction between these two, because I can, for example, for the trust, I see the positive reviews on the product. I can give a really good review of the product, but on a crappy website. So there's already, I see some influence, but they don't seem to be separated.
Yeah, we didn't take into, so basically on all websites the products were the same. We will write only amount of information about products. So at some, like with low trust characteristics, we had like a smaller description, and it was just the main features. With high trust characteristics, we had like extended description with video and some pictures. And yeah, in our study, we tried to split these things. But in real life, you always have it just like at once, all these things. And basically to, about, for example, reviews and feedback from other users, only positive reviews bad for online store, because it seems like they were fake or something. A lot of negative reviews also bad, because yeah, you understand why. But when you have a combination of positive and more positive, and some negative reviews as well, but they have good reasoning and like explain why, not just they're just pastors and like I hate them, but there is a like reasoning for this. Then yeah, it works also. It decreased trust and decrease distrust and increase trust. So it's these two trust and distrust. It's two phenomena that we cannot really. They're not on the same line, on the same continuum. They are kind of independent, but we cannot really split up them. Just like yeah, they're just different. So
another question. The people who participated didn't actually buy this, so there was already nothing to lose exactly for them. They didn't lose money. They can pretend, but they don't lose the actual money.
It's a disadvantage of this current this experiment. So they interacted with prototypes. They didn't pay their own money. We tried to sensitize them before, like we asked them about their positive experience, about the negative experience of purchasing, and like we tried that they would imagine that picture that they had when they bought something in the last time. But yeah, it's a disadvantage.
Is it actually possible to get so far that you actually do experiments where they really need to buy something, that you just ask Amazon or that kind of companies and review, so that when they make a real purchase, that you do this kind of experiment?
We discussed this opportunity, but a bit another way around, just to find people who is going to buy something right now. But then we couldn't control really like. So it would be if it's like A/B test with Amazon or I don't know, eBay, it would be great. But at that moment, we didn't have this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tatiana, for your talk. It was really nice. And now we have a break, but I would like to invite you to come back here at 8:45 to 1, sorry, to have a group picture. Okay. Thank you.
Final is here. Group picture is here.
Yeah, in this room.